If you're presently taking ADHD medication and you can't figure out why you're burning out harder than you ever did before you took it, this video's for you. I'm going to break this down and show you the 10-minute technique that will stop it from happening. But first, let's roll it back. Do you remember when you finally got medicated for ADHD and it seemed you no longer had to deal with the erratic energy swings and inevitable midday crash that were a part of your existence since forever? I mean, who knew you could make the on switch stick for so long? Awesome, right? Sort of. There's a catch. You probably know this one. Now that you've been unleashed into your full working potential for some time now, that Ferrari brain of yours probably pops the clutch as soon as you get out of the shower and take your meds in the morning. And you probably do 300 miles per hour from that point on. I'm curious though, did the doctor who prescribed your medication talk to you about how this very fact can create episodes of even more extreme burnout than what you were experiencing before you started it? Probably not. GPs rarely have time to explain anything, and most of the anecdotal evidence they have from their patients in the first while is that it's been a miracle cure. The patients themselves often don't make the connection until well after the initial medication honeymoon phase is over. In fact, it's rarely spoken of anywhere. Jacob, are you saying I've traded one form of erratic energy swings for another, and that even though I think the medication is helping me, the reality might be that I'm just crashing and burning all the time in a totally brand new and even more impactful way than I realized? Yeah. In fact, this applies to being bored out as well as burned out. That same accelerated state can make the experience of not having something to focus on 10 times more excruciating than it was before. Is there no winning? Actually, I'm glad you asked. Introducing the Nappetizer. Just like an amuse-bouche is to the main course, a Nappetizer is to sleep. It helps slow that Ferrari brain down long enough for it to recover from the maniacal speeds you've been operating at, whether it's in production beast mode or I have nothing to focus on beast mode, before it runs off the track. Just 10 to 15 minutes taken once, or ideally 2 to 3 times a day, means you have something left to go home with. And definitely something left to be awesome with tomorrow. But why does this actually work? Because it helps build your interoceptive awareness, your ability to sense what's going on inside your body. This basic awareness is already difficult for those of us with ADHD, and stacking stimulant medication on top of that issue can make it nearly impossible to track. So how does one take an Nappetizer? Set a couple reminders on your phone each morning. When the reminders ping, stop what you're doing, set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes and close your eyes. Breathe, let your mind wander. Come back to your breath, repeat. When the timer goes off, you're free. It's simple really, but it's not always easy. Maybe your phone is a graveyard of ignored reminders and calendar events. No judgment, that's a real thing. If that's the case, here's the trick. Immediately after setting your reminder, make a fist and say, "This is important. I need to stop what I'm doing." Visualize yourself doing exactly that when the reminder pops up. Then when it does pop up, make the fist, say the phrase. That physical anchor creates the pause you need to actually follow through. This is important to me. I need to stop what I'm doing. Now here's the hard part. When you first close your eyes, your brain will still be going 300 miles per hour. You might hate it. You might rather poke your eyes with a fork. Do not despair. This is normal. A Ferrari doesn't stop on a dime, but it will slow down. Just give it 2 or 3 minutes. Remember when I talked about how this process helps to build your interoceptive awareness? Well, here are some of the magical things that can come hand in hand with it if you push past that initial discomfort. A renewed sense of purpose, or clear understanding of what needs to be next when you were just paralyzed by the enormity of your task list, or a bunch of ideas you never had before, or you might realize you actually have less in the tank than you thought and then pace accordingly. In fact, you might find at the end of the Nappetizer that you'd rather not stop nappetizing. Zen powers unlocked. Any way you cut it, you'll have slowed your brain long enough to cool down and prevent another crash. For myself, it never ceases to amaze me how different my experience is pre and post Nappetizer. It often feels like starting a new day. Now, some of you might recognize that the Nappetizer is very similar to the concept of non-sleep deep rest, or NSDR. Well, that's because it is very similar, and for us ADHD folk, it's that important. Not only do you get to exercise your interoception, but you also get the added and clinically verified benefits of alleviating anxiety, increasing memory, improving your immune function, accelerating learning, easing physical pain symptoms, lowering blood pressure, and helping you get a better night's sleep. And to top it all off, if you make this a daily practice, you'll probably discover in time that your life is no longer a series of massive pushes and equally massive burnouts. The "I went too far now and I'll pay" moments will show up less and less. You may even wake up one day and realize you've escaped the shame and guilt cycles that come with not being able to pace yourself or your days, and realize you love yourself a lot more than you used to. If you want more ADHD strategies that actually work, subscribe to my channel right now. I'm breaking down what helps every week. And if this video resonated with you, hit the like button so more people dealing with medication crashes can find it. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.